What's up, guys? This is Gorilla Geek, and this is probably something, if so inclined, you should have in your reference library. This particular handbook here is the American Radio Relay League Handbook for Radio Communications, 2011 edition. This book right here, I got it from Amazon.com. And I paid $37 total. This book here, it shows you everything that there is to know about communications. It gives a brief description on the basics and the history of it, but then it goes heavily deep into electric circuits and stuff like that. And even for me, it's kind of hard to follow. I'm not an engineer, I'm just a plain old tech. And I reference this a lot because I don't use all the theory all the time. So when I forget something or I want to know about something else, I reference this book here to learn about that in detail. And it goes deep into detail. Out of all the books out there in electronics and communications, this is the most comprehensive reference book that you can have on the subject. And they sell these once a year, like I said, but you could buy the 2001 book and still be able to follow, because the physics and the technology and the basics doesn't change. On the newer books, they concentrate a little bit more on digital stuff and on all the newer stuff, but all the principles and the basics are the same. So really, you should buy one of these books maybe once every 10 years, really, because it's not going to change much. I've kind of compared to both of these. This here had a little introductory on mathematics for amateurs. The new 2011 book doesn't have that. It just goes right into it. This has minimal information about digital communications, but this one here has a little bit more about it in this particular edition. So maybe on eBay or something you could buy a used book from 1975 and it'll still serve you well. It'll still serve you well, even though it's what, 30 something years old. But the cool thing about the new book is they supply you with a CD with this whole document on CD. So not only would you have the hard copy in paper, you also have the CD to reference that as well, and it has all the information on the CD in the book. And from what I heard, it's great for searching. You know, you could put in something on a search engine and it'll take you right to that page, exactly where you want to go. I haven't played around with the CD yet, so anyway, that's just something if you want to add to your library or get into this hobby from a beginner's perspective. So this handbook right here would actually replace, for reference, all these books I got here in the bottom. I got an Encyclopedia of Electric Circuits, Operation Amp Ops, Microwave Radio Transmission Guide, and all these other geek books I got from when I went to junior college for this crap. And some military books here that I got from when I was in the Marine Corps training to use on this here. So for one-stop shopping, this book has it all for a reference. It's quite beefy. If you take a look at it, it's almost the size of a Bible here. And this is the old, my 2001 version. So these books here basically is the A to Z of radio communications. And this book here has everything. I mean everything. A little bit of background about myself. I first got into electronics in the Marine Corps in the late 80s and throughout my career in the 90s, early 90s. And in the Marine Corps training, it was 3 months worth of basic electronics. then 3 months of worth of basic radio fundamentals, then about 2-3 months worth of actual repairing gear, Marine Corps gear. And so that was a total of 9.5 months, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, with a little bit of pain in between, with the running and stuff. But this book has it all. I'm reminiscing about my training in the service there, and this book pretty much has everything that the Marine Corps has taught me. Then in junior college, when I got out of the Marine Corps, updated my skills and went back to square one from basic electronics all the way up again, just to get the degree, AA in communication electronics. And all the source material that I got from junior college is in this book, from basic circuits all the way up to complex, circuits and stuff like that. There's a little bit of what's in there. And this book is for, I would say, intermediate geeks out there. Not for the beginner, but the beginner can pick this up and go through the basics, the whole basics. One thing I got to warn you about this book is that it is pretty advanced, but they show you I just opened up this page, and right there, dipoles and half-wave antennas. That's basically what I was showing you in previous videos that I've posted up. So everything that was in the videos that I've posted on my page is in this book. And every time I need to know something, this is where I go to reference. I had a guy, technician, come up from the Army to work for us, and he needed to take the placement exam to get in, and but they gave him to us for about a couple of months on a temporary basis. And I just gave him this book here, say, hey, learn the basics, show you what else in the background, and he passed it flying colors. This book here also has antenna basics, how to build them, everything. The book here has a lot of references to parts, their specs and their values, and how to read the values, like all these codes on the color codes on resistors, diodes, all the transistors and field effect transistors, and their packages and what they go for. Op amps, they show you what the specs on those are. I mean, for the $35 or $36, that's worth having right there. Is this reference here. Here's a reference of vacuum tubes. Here's a reference of connectors and cables and how to assemble them by yourself. Your most common connector, the PL259 UHF connector. There's more connectors there, N-type, how to build it, and the specs on that. Towards the back is a chapter on safety and how to protect your equipment from electrical storms and stuff like that, how to properly ground your equipment on home base stations and stuff. And they give you a little basics on standard home electricity, your AC line there, your common household electrical circuit, except for overseas, like the Europeans, they have a little bit more power coming in. But shows you how to protect your house against all that, and how to properly ground your equipment from your home telephone system and your pipes and all that good stuff. Here's a reference page on common schematic symbols used in circuit diagrams, so you'll know what all these symbols will mean on a schematic blueprint. It tells you how to assemble antennas and how to build homemade antennas. As a prepper update on my home heating, off-the-grid home heating, here is my latest concoction. That's the burner from the Yukon 1950, and I found this plate It's an aluminum plate that used to hold a computer fan, and the cutout was exactly the same diameter as the one that's on the Yukon 1950. So the burner fit that plate just right. And I have these heat sinks here just to weigh it down. And the instruction says that the SHA cannot be used with gasoline. But guess what? If I made old with new, I'm burning gasoline in that guy, and it's keeping the garage here pretty warm. And I have my makeshift, you know, fuel supply there just for an hour. It's about an hour's worth. But that's good enough for me to come in here, make a quick video about the handbook here, and be warm enough to tell you guys about it, and also to show off my little modification here. And it's working pretty well. I don't have my thermometer to know what the temperature is, but it's toasty. And I can burn gasoline in this thing now and just have one device here. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Whew. I'm gonna burn the place down. It's doing pretty well.